absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Oh, Rita, Andrea Catania, I do think that worked. We have extraordinary people here, including the one and only A Cubed, Allison A. Armstrong. We're exploring the superpower of integrous influence. Hello, A Cubed. We're going to have some fun today. We've got some extraordinary, growth-minded, heart-centered people. Bella Rita, welcome back from Greece. Are you ready?
I am ready. I am ready for this power of relationships, heart of influence, featuring Allison Armstrong, and first from Stamford, Connecticut, an internationally known TEDx speaker, dating and relationship coach, author of 3 books and podcast host, holistic approach to coaching, a hybrid mix of life coaching, neuro-linguistic programming, nonviolence communication, currently serving as a chief love officer for her firm, also hosting 2 popular podcasts, believing it's never too late to have the life and love you want. Welcome to the show, Sandy Weiner.
Hi.
Sandy, welcome to the Heart of Influence. Appreciate you being here today. And Sandy, Plato, the Greek philosopher. Now, he's a dear friend of Andrea Catania, maybe a friend of Bella, but Allison is way too young to know Plato. Yes, we do, but she doesn't. And he was a Greek philosopher that said, play a game with me for an hour, and we will learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. So we kicked this game off with a fun fact. It could be a headline. It could be something like adventurous moment, proud moment, surprising moment, anything that would make us say, Sandy, no way. So Sandy, what is your headline fun fact, please?
I co-created and co-wrote a children's variety show on Nickelodeon with my ex-husband.
That is beautiful. I love this. And what was the title?
Wienerville.
This is how to kick this one off for today. Sandy, Bella, we are in Wienerville today, and please, let's rock and roll.
We are rocking and rolling, coming from Wienerville to Denver, Colorado. Communications coach helping clients bridge the gap between intention and impact. Professional stage director, theater educator, recipient of the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival Award for Excellence in Directing, soon to be published on commanding any audience in business and life. Let's welcome to the show, Christopher Peck.
Yay!
Christopher, welcome to the Andrew Catania, Allison Armstrong Heart of Influence for today. And please, what is your headline fun fact?
So I found out within the last 12 months that Dale Carnegie, the father of modern communication, is my grandfather's godfather.
Whoa. That is super fun and super cool. Well, we are learning how to win friends and influence people. Welcome to the party, Christopher. We have amazing relations that are present, Bella Rita. Who else is here to join Christopher and Sandy?
Joining this extraordinary crew from Seattle, Washington, experienced CEO and board leader, mentoring over 150 tech startups to successful financial exits and IPOs globally, focus on advancing life science ventures targeting critical health issues, providing guidance through his Startup Innovation Masterclass, innovator and advocate for sustainable solutions in cutting-edge fields such as Noble House Energy Initiative for nuclear defense strategies. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Churchill.
Yay! That's awesome.
Dr. Churchill, welcome to the Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
Thank you very much. And thanks to Andrea, who made it easy for me to join up. I am not a joiner, so clearly it takes a special effort to be here. As a public health doctor, the one thing that's important to us is to help others through the course of life in whatever wicked circumstances they might find themselves into. So accidentally, Andrea informed me about your own condition, son, and that your blindness is a difficulty you have been able to somewhat overcome. Well, I'm here to provide you with a complete solution, so maybe you'll become unemployed as the unblinded, and you become the all-seeing eye man, and maybe, you guys can all repurpose this particular facility to another level, but I wish to give you the beautiful gift of light and sight. And there are two methods that I have in my purview that I can actually work specifically for your own disease, and I would like to take a sideline at any time you wish to offer you both of those solutions. The one involves a device.
Well, Dr. Churchill, thank you.
Save this for another time.
So
Yeah,
that's
Dr. Churchill, thank
that's
you.
my
Yeah.
offering.
This
It's
is
not a fun fact.
Dr.
but
Churchill, we're going to
how
have to save this
I
for
believe
another
in being
time.
useful. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that, Dr. Churchill. That is the Donald Trump style of debate approach. Got you, Dr. Churchill. Having some fun. Just keep on going through the stop sign. We love it. Welcome to the party. Bella Rita, stop signs equal go. Let's go.
Stop signs equal go. And speaking of parties, we're going to head to Miami, Florida. Founders of Lovepreneur, supporting entrepreneur couples with backgrounds in real estate, childcare, and consulting. Featured on Love and Hip Hop and honored with the 2024 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. Giving back to thousands of families since 2013, helping companies balance love and business, guidance and support for a harmonious journey. Let's welcome to the show, Demetrius and Dahani Walker.
It is Demetrius, yes?
Yes.
Beautiful. Welcome to the party, and please, your fun fact, headline style, please.
Fun fact is, 3 weeks ago, my wife and I had surgery on the same day, same hospital, different rooms apart. One surgery scheduled, the other one emergency. Mine was one. So we are recovering from surgery together.
I think I'm hearing serendipitous, soulful connection at every level. Demetrius, am I hearing that correctly?
Yes, correct.
That is it. Bella Rita, one of the most serendipitous, heart-centered, romantic, bizarre fun facts of all time. Congratulations. 8,000 people, Demetrius. You are a winning person. Let's go.
And then with Demetrius, we have Dahani. So Dahani, is that your same fun fact as well?
It is. What I will add is that he's been wanting me to get tattoos. I do not like tattoos. So we officially have the same scars in the same place, which is our stomach. So
Wow.
the tattoos that he wanted. Matching tattoos.
What I'm hearing you say is that you're recommending that we all get stomach surgery to have scars in the same place. Am I hearing you correctly?
Want to get aligned officially? I think we can make that happen.
Yes. Bella Rita, let's contemplate this. We'll talk about it later tonight. Come on.
Yes, I think matching tattoos is a great idea. Next, coming from New York, New York, a relationship coach teaching individuals how to have better relationships with themselves. Facilitates in-person, conscious community conversations on heart-centered topics, always cultivating and focused on authentic connections. Let's welcome to the show, Michelle Miller.
Hey everyone.
Michelle, welcome to the Heart of Influence. Andrea Catania featuring Allison Armstrong. Please, your fun fact.
My fun fact is that I just started playing tennis and learning chess just a few months ago for the first time. So I am really challenging myself this summer.
Beautiful. I do not recommend stomach surgery as you improve in tennis, but I do say that Dr. Churchill can help you see better in tennis. Bella Rita, let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll to Toledo, Ohio. Over a decade in grassroots sales, mastering persistence and relationship building, a business developer expanding the world's largest biohacking franchise, now in 200 plus locations across 10 countries. Partnered with leading biohacking companies, speaks globally on health and wellness and IT and AI integrations, an expert in bone health cognition and enhancement. Let's welcome to the show, Timothy Ruppel.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you.
Timothy, you like Timothy or Tim?
Whichever you choose.
What is your preference?
We'll go with Timothy.
Timothy, welcome to the party, and please your fun fact.
Woke up one day this summer and decided to buy a fifth wheel camper and went 6,000 miles across the country with my kids. And it was one of the most incredible experiences and bonding moments. 2 years ago, I had a big financial setback, and I sat there poolside and asked my daughter, I said, what was your favorite part of summer? And she said, the other day you put your phone down and hung out with me. And I said to God, I was like, if I can have an opportunity to spend the summer with my kids, I will. And this summer I fulfilled that. So that was both the moment where I had to be more present and the moment where I fulfilled it. So this summer I accomplished a dream and started living it. And I recently unhomed myself by getting rid of my home in Laguna Beach, California and Austin, Texas. And now I am 24/7 remote and loving life at a level that I've dreamed of. So I wake up living my dream every single day.
Timothy, hitting us in the heart, brother. That is phenomenal. Congratulations. Welcome to the party. Thanks for that beautiful share, brother. Let's go. Bella Rita, come on.
Let's go from Port Washington, New York, founder and president specializing in business development and sales strategy, helping small businesses achieve big results. An advocate for honorable selling, focus on adding value and fulfilling genuine needs. Works with small business owners to lead mid and large size organizations, driving meaningful engagement and outcomes. Let's welcome to the show, Adrienne Miller.
Adrienne.
Adrienne, welcome to the party, and please, your fun fact.
My fun fact is really fast. I met one of my biggest clients. I've been in business 3 decades. Met one of my biggest clients in a dive bar sharing tequila shots.
We love it.
So the motto is drink more.
So is this a scuba diving bar or just a dive bar or a dive bar?
No, it's a dive bar, scuzzy dive bar, sticky counters.
Like bikers, like blue jean jackets, like the people Andrea Catania hangs out with, like those kind of people?
All of the above. Andrea,
Yes.
I'll meet you there in a couple weeks.
Let's go, Bella Rita.
Let's go. Coming from Western Colorado, since 1995, committed to altering society's culture by transforming the way women and men relate to each other and themselves, shifting relationships for tens of thousands of men and women from 13 to 90 years old, from adversaries with opposing instincts to paradigms of partnership. An educator, advocator, author, philosopher, proposing new ways of understanding human behavior and the practical approaches to more supportive joy and fulfillment through her live and online curriculum. Let's welcome the one, the only, Allison Armstrong!
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you.
So Allison,
The
hey,
one and
before
only.
you share your fun fact, I'm just curious, is part of your relationship advice getting matching tattoos?
You don't want to hear me talk about tattoos.
Allison, we will come back to this, and thank you very much. And it is such an honor and a privilege to have you here today, Allison. This person, I have never seen anyone with a greater depth of content, with a deeper level of study. And when you talk about frameworks, and I've had the privilege of studying with some of the most masterful humans around the world and teaching some of the most masterful humans around the world. And Allison's content, the depth of it knows no bottom. It is bottomless. It is an ever expanding mastery. And if there's any question you ask her, she has a framework to solve for it. This is a master of masters. So Allison, truly, it is an honor and privilege. And please, your fun fact, whatever you want to share.
Oh boy. I would share that despite numerous unauthorized translations of the Queen's Code in the beginning of 2025, despite incredible geographical challenges, the first authorized translation and interpretation of the Queen's Code will be published in Polish in Poland.
Yes.
Yeah.
My grandfather is smiling from heaven. My grandfather, Adam Bastek, and my 25% Polishness is smiling. Allison, thank you for everything you do. And are you ready to have just a little bit of fun today? Because I do know that you like to have some fun.
It's one of our principles.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Allison's ready, Bella. The master's in the house. Come on, Bella.
Masters are in the house, and the woman that brought us all together from Nutley, New Jersey, the deal attorney, having led 200 capital market transactions in the past 25 years, taking companies public in the 7 different ways to do so. 2 years out of law school, built $1 million solo practice from her basement as a single mom with 2 young daughters. Proudly serving for over a decade on the board of National Investment Banking Association, helping companies get connected to thousands of members and funding sources, executive producer of The Heart of Influence, general counsel, and chief ecosystem officer at Callagy Law. Let's welcome to the show, Miss Andrea Catania.
Andrea Catania, thank you for everything that you do. Welcome to your show. And please, what's your fun fact?
So in my spare time, I am resuming writing a book with my best friend, who happens to be my husband's first wife. And I call her my wife-in-law.
This is amazing. Yes, and you heard Allison's beautiful reaction. I love the giggle of Allison Armstrong. There's a mischievous undercurrent to it at times, and I heard it there. I'm sure she has much to share, Allison, on this subject that we will not delve into, but am I hearing you correctly that you could share for about the next 4 hours on this topic?
Yes.
Yes, this is perfect. Loving it. Yes. So Bella Verita, this woman, who's been introducing everyone, started her career in influence selling crafts on her parents' front lawn as an 8-year-old. She progressed to being a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing by the age of 19. That's not easy to do. 24, 25, 26, she was three-peating like Jordan, except not in hoops raining threes, but instead as the #1 business broker in the male-dominated industry of business brokerage in the state of Nevada. Number one, 3 straight years, 24 years old, first woman ever to do it at all, and youngest person, male or female, let alone 3 straight times to ever do it, period. She then began to train entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, every sales team, did I say every sales team she worked with in 2019 doubled their sales? Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer in the most extreme of conditions, philanthropist, raising 8 figures, that's 10 million bucks plus in the last 2.5 years with the Unblinded team, as well as a 2-time, about to be 3-time published author. And this courageous, heart-centered, inspirational woman publicly, transparently battled cancer in 2023 and won. Let's welcome to Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence, featuring Alison Armstrong, the woman that put the heart in the heart of influence, Bella Farita. Bella, welcome back. And please, your fun fact.
Yes, I think, Sean, since today is a relationship show, I'm going to go with the fact that I did learn to surf, ski, and scuba dive from a blind man, except for when I get mad at that blind man, I learned how to ski from YouTube. Allison, I'm not sure if you would recommend learning to ski from your significant other or not. Definitely poses some challenges, but I can ski black diamonds now, and that's my fun fact.
Thank God for Allison, everyone. Thank God for YouTube. So, Bella, please, let's rock and roll.
Let's do the things. Let me introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Bet Key at body surfing competitions. He's only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, the state of New Jersey thought he was so cool that they actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages for Fortune 10 companies to Fortune 500 companies like T-Mobile, Salesforce, Disney, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around, speaking on stages, he is an incredible philanthropist that raised nearly $10 million for refugees in the Ukraine. Let's welcome my co-host, Mr. Sean Callagy.
Thank you, Bella Rita. Very grateful for you being here. And yes, I often say as my fun fact that I'm a blind man, can't see anything in front of me, that has taught sighted people to ski, surf, and scuba dive. But I'm going to share this fun fact. We just issued a press release announcing on October 22nd that we're going to hold the most powerful webinar in Unblinded history. And it's about understanding, not just understanding, mastering men, women, and money with none other than the guru and godmother of it all, Alison Armstrong. October 22nd is coming up. Press release out. And yes, that is my fun fact, Bella Frida. Shall we do the things?
That is a super fun fact, Sean Callagy, and we shall do the things. And how about we kick this off with Miss Sandy?
Okay. Sandy, yeah, here's what we're doing here. A lot of fun, a lot of powerful introductions, but we're really exploring how humans relate to one another in business, in professional, in personal, in all of it. And we have to create yes in all aspects of our wholeness and our beingness. It could relate to things in the home front, family, friends, leading, managing, marketing, selling, recruiting, raising money for charity or for profit, whatever it is all on the other side of yes. So from that place, Sandy, we are in a research and development laboratory. More than 8,000 people have actually been on this show sharing their fun facts. Welcome to that ecosystem. And Bella is going to be anybody you want her to be to see what it looks like for integrous, heart-centered, growth-minded people to cause yes with the absence of pitching, hooking, closing. I mean, yuck for that. So Bella could be an ideal client. Heck, she could be somebody that you live in your home with or want to go to the movies with. She could also be somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, anything, Sandy, that would be a yes that you want to create. Doesn't have to be a sale. It doesn't have to be a final yes. It could just be a yes for a longer conversation. So please, Sandy, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
All right. So Bella, I would like you to be a very successful entrepreneur, which I know would be hard for you to play that role. And and you are struggling with dating. Like you don't get second dates, you just are struggling in the dating world, but you're super killing it out there in the workforce. And
Yeah,
so
'cause
you're,
all men are terrible and horrible, and they never call me back like that.
yeah.
Sandy and Bella, I don't love this scenario, but let's go with it. I'm just kidding. Great scenario. Bella,
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. So tell me about your dating life.
I've been dating on and off for the past 5 years, but it's very challenging, and I find that, men don't do what they say they're going to do, and they don't call me back, and they ghost. I'll text them like 10, 15 times, and I don't understand why they won't text me back.
And so what I'm hearing you say is that you text them a lot, you're not getting texts back, correct?
Yeah, because I think like maybe they're not getting it, because it's really like weird that they're like they just stop responding, like ghosting. I think I'm pretty cool to hang out with, but I've a lot of fun, and then I never hear back, and I just don't understand, and then it gets frustrating, and then I stop, and yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you're like when you go on a date. What kinds of conversations do you have?
Oh, well, I really like to talk about myself. I like to share as much about myself as I can. I want them to really know who I am, and I want to make sure that they understand who I am. I have heard you should ask a couple questions, so I do ask a couple questions, but I really feel like they should understand who I am.
And so what parts of who you are you sharing on the date?
Well, I'm sharing my life plan, how the life that I want to live, where I want to travel to, and all of the children that I want to have, and I think all like the basic things that you should get out on a first date, right?
Well, no. So I think it's great that you're sharing some stories about yourself. And what I'd like to suggest is that you don't suppress who you are, because you're awesome, but bring more of the warmth and the nurturing parts of you, bring more stories, interesting stories about your life, ask more questions. What do you think about doing something like that?
I can feel the resonance with that. I can feel your energy in that. I can feel the softening, and so I'm not quite sure how to do that. So maybe we could have a little bit longer of a conversation, and you could show me how I do that.
I would love to do that. I have some great formulas for how to create your story so that you can share it on a date and get to the next date.
Bella Verita, I just came back into this. What in the heck are we talking about? There's no way we're talking to any other men. What is happening here? Sandy, I'm sorry, we're cutting you off the show. Bella, let's go. You're going to sit under this desk, and you're going to sit in a box, and Allison said that's okay. So let's go. Thank you very much, Sandy. Bella, who's going next?
Yes, I'm sitting in a box. I have so many things to tell you later. Just wait.
Yes,
but next,
you can sit here and I will pet your head, and that's what's happening. Let's go.
But until then, next up we have Christopher.
Yeah, awesome job, Sandy. Christopher, who would you like Bella to be, please?
Bella, I need you to be an entrepreneur. You have an important presentation coming up. You're nervous, but you need to be.
This is perfect. This is better than you.
The audio was cutting out.
You have a presentation. You have a presentation to make, and you're nervous. Bella, I said this is perfect because otherwise she would turn to YouTube. Christopher, Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Christopher Pack. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I've got a big speaking engagement coming up, and definitely feeling a little nervous.
Can you talk to me a little bit about those nerves? What do those feel like for you?
I feel like I want to vomit. It feels so important anytime that I step in front of an audience or, prepare, but this one feels different. It feels like there's a lot writing, there's a big impact to be made, and I just don't want people to walk away unfulfilled or feel like they didn't get what they came for.
Yeah, so tell me this, what do you want your audience to do as a response to this presentation that you're going to give? What's the action that you want them to take?
The action that I want them to take is, I'm not 100% sure. I want them to leave feeling, full of hope, full of possibilities, feeling like they can take any action step that they want, that their potential is unlimited.
Yeah, I like that. I would encourage you, because what's the litmus test for a feeling? How do you know that you have achieved your goal if you're asking for a feeling from your audience?
I would say if they felt that.
Yeah. But what I'd like you to do is take it a step further. If you can turn that feeling into an action, something tangible that you can watch happen, whether it's a standing ovation, whether it's a direct call to action where they're going out and physically doing the thing that you're asking them to do. Use that as your grounding point. One of the challenges that we run into as presenters, and one of the reasons why we get so nervous, is because we make it about ourselves and what we have to deliver. But your presentation is about your audience and the action that you want your audience to take. If you can ground into that action that you want them to take, make it about what you want them to do, not what you want them to learn or what you want them to feel, right? Now you're taking the pressure off of yourself and you're putting all of that onto your audience in order for them to go out and really push forward. How does that feel for you?
That feels really nice. I definitely I can feel where that is coming from. I'm not quite sure how to get there, so maybe we can have a little bit of longer conversation and see what that would look like to get there.
I would love to take this conversation further.
Let's go. Christopher, beautiful work. Bella Verita, beautiful work. I like this conversation much better than the first conversation, Bella. But please, let's get to the feedbackers.
Yes, let's get to the feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. And so it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Sandy or Christopher, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a little next step scoring system. Is the next step you would rather have a major blow up fight with your significant other where someone's screaming and running out the door than having a longer conversation? I'm not sure anybody wants that today. So maybe it's just a little cup of coffee, maybe a meeting at Starbucks for a cup of joe, mocha chocolate, and a little croissant for a little bit longer of a conversation. But if that's not enough time, maybe you might want to rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, ordering the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're a vegan, of course, maybe you're having salad and French fries, but you're not going to skip out on dessert because you definitely want to have the longest meeting possible. But if that's still not enough time, then you would be willing to rent a private jet. Of course, stop and pick up Andrea Catania, Miss Allison Armstrong, and fly anywhere in the world to have the longest conversation possible. I just got done with a 10-hour flight from Greece. That's a lot of conversation you can have on that flight. And so let's kick this off with Adrian. And Adrian, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Sandy?
Sandy. And I'm really new to this, but if I was part of that conversation, or I'm thinking you're
Adrian,
yeah,
you're new in speaking with humans?
I'm sorry?
I said you're new at speaking with human beings?
Oh no, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just new on this. Anyway, I was running screaming from the conversation. Okay. I really was, because I thought that you were very patient. you tried to steer it without saying definitively the way she's going about dating is the reason why she can't get anyone to come back for another date, which I know is not very coach-like and is much more consultant. This is the way you should fucking do it. Excuse me. This is the way you should do it. Actually get another date. Get out of your own
Wait,
way.
Adrian, I thought you were new to this. You seem like very, very advanced at this. You dropped an
Andy,
F.
I don't know if you
Adrian,
were mainlining Valium during that, but that was her role. No one's dating her.
Adrian, the role of Simona Cowell is not taken yet here. So we're super fired up at. And Adrian, I'm presuming that it would be maybe a cup of coffee or not. What would be next real quick? Because we're like super tight on time.
A cup of coffee.
Let's go. And that was super fun, Adrian. You're awesome. And you get this perfectly. Bella Rita, let's go. Adrian's rocking.
Adrian's rocking. Let's go. Michelle, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Christopher?
Yeah, Christopher, I thought that you did a great job at like getting to the point of exactly what she needed to do. I felt like you were really concise and were able to, kind of pull her out and, kind of find out what her next step should be. And I think, yeah, a cup of coffee to kind of, dig a little bit deeper would probably get her what she needs.
Awesome. Michelle, thank you. A little cup of coffee. And would that be like a mocha chocolate? That's our invented, unblinded Starbucks drink. That sound good or something else?
That sounds fabulous. A mocha chocolate.
Mocha chocolate.
Exactly.
Bella Rita, we got mocha chocolates. We got a lot of caffeine flowing. Please, who's next?
A lot of caffeine flowing. Next up, let's go. We'll start with the honey. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Sandy?
So Sandy, I think you did great. I love that your topic was relevant to what's happening here, the audience that's here for the game. So I appreciated that because it was very relevant on that end. And what would like for you to pull out of her, just so that you're preparing for your next meeting, it's more of like where her fears are. Because obviously what is it that you're not trying to speak on topic when you're going out on a date, just so you can set her up to wanting to come back for the next conversation. That's what I was hoping that we will pull that out of her somehow. But I think you did great, and I absolutely love the topic. Very relevant.
Awesome. Cup of coffee, seafood tower dinner. What's it going to be next?
Definitely coffee.
Cup of coffee, caffeine overflow, Bella. Come on.
Caffeine overflow. Let's go to your hospital mate, Demetrius. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Christopher?
Yes, Christopher, I think you did well. I think you got to the point of things. The only thing I would say maybe would have been great to add is like some bullet points of things she can do after the call while she's doing a presentation that will kind of help her deal with the anxiety during the presentation. That would be the only thing that I would say I would like to see added there.
And Demetrius, next step, cup of coffee, seafood tower, steak or something like that, or private jet. What do you got, Demetrius?
Private jet.
And where's it going?
It's going to Greece.
Go back to Greece. Going back to Greece, Bella. You're going to make a U-turn. Let's go. Wait, you weren't talking to like dudes in Greece, were you? Like, I want to like dig into this a little bit. All right, back to you.
Yes, let's go. Dr. Churchill, if he is here, we'll go Dr. Churchill and your 30 seconds of feedback for Sandy. I'm not sure if he's here. Timothy, both. There we go. So Dr. Churchill, 30 seconds of feedback for Sandy, please. Just unmute for us, Dr. Churchill. And then Timothy, I'm coming to you next. Dr. Churchill, you're still on mute.
Yes, thank you. I apologize. In my public health medical repertoire, I have no solutions for love problems. I have no love potions. I certainly haven't got any idea how to help you there. So I clearly suggest, people who are much more qualified than me. And, there are professionals in that business as well, and they will return date after date after date. I suggest you avail yourself of their services. For now, if I come up with a solution, you'll be the first one to know. And
Well, yes, the solution is right here, right now. So we got that, Dr. Churchill. Awesome
professionals.
job.
Trust
Yes.
the professionals to do the job. Yep.
Amen. Amen, Dr. Churchill. Belle of Rita.
Let's go, Timothy. Timothy, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Christopher? Oh, I think it's frozen. Timothy, are you you frozen?
Yep, there we go. My feedback there is simply when we're giving advice to people and we're leaning in, asking a few more questions so that we're a little bit more familiar with the situation. There may be something with the presentation or something else in life that contributes to that. So just getting a little bit more of an approach of asking questions so that when we give information, it can be as direct and personable as possible. Because a lot of times we tend to blanket other people's situations with the way that we'd like to be taught or approached or speaking our love language or our communication with that person. So my feedback would be ask a few more questions so that when you're identifying what they're looking for, you can do it as directly and most valuable as possible.
Awesome. Love it, Timothy. Thank you for that. And next step would be?
Was that private jet down to Bocas del Toro, Panama?
Look at that. Very specifically, Bella. Let's grab the surfboards on the jet. Timothy, Allison, yes, Andrea, and everybody. Come on, Belle.
Let's go. Next up, we got Miss Allison Armstrong. How about your 30 seconds?
You know what, though, Bella? Because it's Allison. Yeah, I'm thinking, Allison, go 3 minutes if you feel like it. Whatever you got that you like to share, you'd like us to know these folks too. Allison Armstrong, please, your heart, your wisdom. Of course, it'll be 30 seconds or however long. Over to you.
Does that mean I can give feedback for both?
Yes, you give feedback for both. You give feedback for Bella and I, since I want to put her onto the desk and hold her there. And yes, whatever you want to share, whatever's on your heart, Allison.
Oh,
Okay,
or Allison, feel free to give Sean some feedback too.
The feedback for you, Sean, would be to check out what Dr. Churchill's offering, if only to be able to see Bella's beautiful face.
Oh, thank you, Allison.
That'd be for you. For Sandy, I put like stars around it. Your follow-up question to Bella about what parts of yourself do you share? That was brilliant. That was brilliant. And of course, had Bella reveal a classic need of people with what I would call undescended testicles, otherwise known as ovaries, the need to feel understood. If you don't understand me, this is never going to work. So I'm going to tell you everything you could possibly need to know in order to understand me, having no idea how men are listening on a date and how much that doesn't work. So bravo, Sandy, for that follow-up question. That is great. And definitely coffee and dessert, and take a long time at both, hang out, share notes. For Christopher, I've trained a lot of public speakers, and I was cheering as you were talking. One with your opening question, how do you want to leave them? I mean, that is the beginning of every design, right? What action do you want to take? I held Sean's feet to the fire, like, okay, what are we going to offer at the end of our webinar? Well, we can figure out that later. No, we can't. That's where we start and we work backwards. And yes, arduous process. And I know you're completely jiggy with that. I also loved what you said about your presentation is not about you. And that's one of the biggest things we can learn if you're on stage, to know that no one cares about you. They are there for themselves. So start delivering. And so I love the path you're taking. I love what you removed from her concern. Like they're really not paying that much attention to you. I loved your question about how would you tell that they're feeling that? That is awesome. So yes, definitely hang out And it was really, really, really enjoyable to watch both of you. I got the biggest kick out of it. And Sean, you're such a mischief maker.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you for seeing me. Yes, only eclipsed by Bella Rita, of course. Yes, so thank you, Allison, for all that you bring forward in the world. And Bella, shall we turn to the one and only Andrew Catania for 30 seconds of quick feedback?
That's what that is. Last but not least, is Andrea Catania. 30 seconds feedback for Sandy, Christopher, go.
Okay. So for Sandy, I really liked the way that you immediately started engaging Bella in the conversation and gathering some information. And you were precise and empathetic. However, at the end, where I thought would have been a nice opportunity for you to talk about yourself and what you can bring to the table, I thought maybe you missed that chance, and you could have maybe something that you've done, a person that you've helped perhaps, because you're phenomenal, and your accomplishments, I think the things that you've been able to do in helping people might have, got our attention a little bit. And
Awesome. Andrea, what would the next step be?
That was 30 seconds. So quick for Christopher. That was 30 seconds.
Christopher, great job. Great job. Very, very authentic, and really enjoyed your questions and so on. So I would say both of you, if I can, I'd like to take a private jet to Fiji. And of course, I'm taking.
Yes, I love this private jet to Fiji. Fun fact for everyone, my son's 25th birthday, he had a few friends at the Capitol Grill. Allison, that was a $5,000 night. I just got the bill. So that was fascinating for a little dinner at the private room of the Capitol Grill. So it's not a small outing. Yes, there was more espresso martinis than I've ever seen on a list of anything in my life. Bella Verita, it's that time that you, Andrea, and of course, Allison can enter into a little mastery or mischief and putting me on the hot seat. Over to you. We're 10 minutes out from completion. So let's rock.
Yes. So Allison and everyone, this is the time in the show that I have the honor and the privilege of putting my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because I get the pleasure of cooking them up as the show has been going on. So Allison, Andrea, you guys get to choose which scenario that Sean goes from hello to yes on. Now, Allison, you can choose from one of my scenarios, or you can scrap them all together, come up with something, or change them all together, whatever suits you. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
We are ready.
Well, I'm just curious, but who's the person that he's going to be?
Well, I'm going to give you 3 scenarios, and we'll choose the person.
Okay.
So option number 1 is there would be a scenario, and Sean, there would be a scenario where one significant other wants to hang out and play with the cat every Friday night, and the significant other wants to go out. So Sean would role play the significant other convincing the person who wants to stay home and play with the cat every Friday night on why they should start going out. So that is option number 1. Option number 2 is I think J-Lo has some relationship problems. I think she's on to divorce number 4 at the current moment. So I thought maybe Sean could role play Sandy going from hello to yes with J-Lo on some relationship coaching. So that's option number 2. And then option number 3 is I thought Christopher could run into the CEO of the TEDx Talks in the elevator, and Sean would role play Christopher going from hello to yes with the CEO of TED Talks, convincing him in that elevator ride to give an opportunity for a TED Talk. So those are my 3 options I have for you today. Allison, do any of those tickle your fancy, or do you have something much harder you would like to see Sean do?
Well, I would pick number 3, but primarily because watching other people talk about relationships is torture for me. I can't even watch TV shows. So I would pick option number 3.
Option number 3. And who should play the role of the TEDx CEO that's in the elevator?
I thought you said Christopher.
Christopher can play that. Okay. So Sean will role play Christopher, and Christopher will role play the CEO of TED Talks. And Sean, you're going to go from hello to yes in that elevator ride to give an opportunity to take the stage at a TED Talk.
Perfect. And Christopher, one headline on YU. I heard your bio, but if you had one headline on YU before we start, please. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Yeah. So why would the CEO of TED want to let you take the stage?
Well, I wasn't prepared to answer that question.
I think you set it up opposite. Are you changing it, Sean? He is the CEO of TED Talks, and you've got to convince him to let you take the stage.
Yes, but I'm going to be Christopher doing that. So I was just seeing if I could have one fact from Christopher. But I got it perftly. Ready?
Okay,
so Christopher, I got brother, I got you. Okay. Hey, excuse me. Are you Mr. Jones, the CEO of TED?
Yes.
Hey, listen, I know we're in an elevator ride and it's super weird. And I'm sure anybody that recognizes you wants to get to your stage. Would it be too bothersome if I spent 30 seconds just asking you one quick question?
I mean, I've got 7 floors, so go ahead.
Yeah. So why do you do this? You know, TED has reached such a height. I've heard you speak. I've actually read your book. I'm very familiar with the TED background, but what keeps you going? Truly in doing this, Mr. Jones?
I would say it's the responsibility to the public to ensure that the best and brightest are getting their ideas out there.
Awesome. And I want to really acknowledge the TEDx model of having like the minor league system of getting to TED Talks. So, incredibly beautiful job. But can I ask you this? One more thing. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the biggest challenge you have at TED right now? My hallucination is the fact that there's this mass conglomeration of humans that want to speak on the TED platform, but perhaps there's not a unified system of like where we're going with it all. Like what I'm present to, Mr. Jones, is that every speaker in the world holds in their heart a desire to make the world a greater place. I think that's what TED's all about. But do we actualize that? It's a question I have. I mean, that's what I see, perhaps. Any thoughts you'd like to share on what maybe TED's biggest challenge is on truly fulfilling its ultimate mission?
I want to make sure that every single person who has the opportunity to share their story on stage is also getting that airtime. Obviously partnering with organizations like YouTube to make sure that individuals are being seen in this and disseminating the challenging amount of information, all the noise, and making sure that everyone has an opportunity to get their voice out there and it's being heard. I think that's the biggest challenge, is there are just so many people in the room all fighting for airtime.
Amazing. I know we're here, but I have a proposal that might end up with $100,000 going to your favorite charity. Would it be worth stepping off the elevator at this 7th floor and spending 30 more seconds?
Yes, for $100,000, yes.
Awesome. So, what's your favorite charity and why?
What's my favorite charity? Stand Up to Cancer. Not only am I a big fan of baseball, but I'm a big fan of making sure that we can do what we need to do in order to overcome something that has just disrupted so many families throughout the country and throughout the world.
So here's what I propose. I have a colleague that I've recently met. Maybe you've heard of him, maybe you haven't. His name is Sean Callaghy. I'm Christopher. I train speakers to the highest level. I am not even going to begin to propose to train TED speakers for you, because I'm sure that's what everybody says to you. So instead, I am extremely confident that Sean Callaghy would be willing to donate philanthropically $100,000 to stand up for cancer if we could have a 30-minute conversation about how to potentially bring something to TED to actualize its influence to create $1 billion of charitable fundraising that would actualize real change in the world. Is that a conversation, Mr. Jones, you'd be interested in having, and you'd have the money before you even book the call? How does that resonate with you or not? And if it doesn't, thank you for the 3 minutes you've given me here today.
I say let's move forward and do it.
Let's go. Thank you, Mr. Jones, for everything you do. Shall I set that up with you? You want to exchange numbers or your assistant? ... I would finish the information exchange. Complete. Christopher, how'd I do as you having a conversation with Mr. Jones, the CEO of TED?
Actually, it's kind of fun to watch somebody else play me because you have an objectivity around me. You don't have all the imposter syndrome and insecurity that I think we as individuals face. And so watching somebody with that level of dynamism and just going for it with my name was a lot of fun to watch. Thank you.
And Christopher, I empower you to have that conversation. And if you cause that, I'm a yes to do exactly what I just said. How does that sound to you?
That sounds amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, Christopher did a beautiful job today. Christopher, how was your time today on Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence featuring Alison Armstrong, please?
This was incredible. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate being in the room with movers and shakers. This was a tremendous opportunity for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christopher. Beautiful. Miss Armstrong, how did I do in your scenario? And we'll circle back again later. But how did I do in that conversation as Christopher? Please.
Well, it was cool. It took me a while to catch on, as you could probably tell, but I think you're really free flowing with Mr. Callaghan's resources. And you use them well in trade for 30 more minutes. I thought that was great. And I just always love how you ask questions that aren't the ones that people normally get. It's so important. You have a knack.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you. We're going to circle back. Appreciate you, Allison. Let's go. Adrian, love the F-bomb drop on the Heart of Influence. And I mean it absolutely sincerely. Probably the 5th time in 1,350 episodes. I love the rawness. I love the realness. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And how was your time today, Adrian, on the Heart of Influence?
I thought this was great. I did not know very much about this. Was introduced yesterday, I think, and had a 3-minute conversation with Andrea while I was in my car driving. And it was just real interesting. I took something away from hearing everyone speak, and I liked it. Even a Zoom at the mid to late afternoon, sometimes you got zoomy eyes, it's just like one too many Zooms in the course of a day, but I didn't feel that with this.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate you. And thank you for contributing to the lineage and the legacy of the 8,000 folks that have been here plus. Great job, Adrian. Michelle, appreciate you in the feedbacker seat. Thanks for being here today. Hopefully no zoomy eyes for you. And how was your experience today on the Heart of Influence featuring Alison Armstrong?
No zoomy eyes. I was grateful for all the coffee that went around, though, I have to say. Yeah, no, this is really fun. It was so good to get to know everyone and to hear, feedback and experiences, and to hear how different people approach, scenarios. And yeah, thank you, Andrea, for the invite. Really appreciate it.
Great job, Michelle. Dr. Churchill, you're fun, you're funny, you're committed, you're supporting people, creating disruption. I'm very interested in what you had to offer. We could take that offline. Very grateful for it. And Dr. Churchill, how was your time today on the Heart of Influence?
You have to unmute.
You just want to unmute for us, Dr. Churchill.
With my blindness, I'm not good at sign language.
That's quite okay. It was a pleasant experience. Unfortunately, I have not been ever in something similar to this, and I reserve judgment to see what the future holds. I definitely came here with a wish to be able to be of help to you medically, if possible. As far as the rest and the enjoyment of the game, sure enough, interesting and exciting, and maybe, in a different context might be also productive. But this, although Alison Armstrong is the lead here, I did not get a sense of what she defines as what women hear, because I think that would be the most beneficial knowledge, what women hear when are in front of the man, as opposed to what the man is talking about. That might be the caption of the whole sentiment. I missed that. Maybe I was not listening, but is it possible that Miss Armstrong might be able to give that capsule of knowledge?
Dr. Churchill, several things. Appreciate that thought. And October 22nd, perhaps that question can be asked, not today. And this was not a training. This is a way of
Okay.
incredible people. This is not a training session, right? We're getting together, we're opening, learning, and connecting. This is like a first cup of coffee for people to meet each other. Now, I don't know about you, but since I've been running the Heart of Influence, I've generated tens of millions of dollars of business through it, legitimately. So maybe another context of understanding for you, it would be productive, which is why you should accept one of our gifts. And so I'm very grateful for that, Dr. Churchill.
Likewise.
Because perhaps,
Thank you.
because perhaps sometimes when we have a brilliant set of knowledge in one area, we are blind in others. And I say that with the greatest degree of love and respect for everything you're doing. So maybe you can help me and maybe we can help you. So thank you, Dr. Churchill, in a beautiful way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bella Verita, we have some other amazing people here. Who else is here?
We do have some other amazing people. Let's go to our hospital twins that are now married, Demetrius and Dahani. Let's start with Demetrius this time. And how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence today, featuring Allison Armstrong?
This was very good, very refreshing. It's great to see that people that hold the weight of everything everyone does for their profession can still have fun. Able to let your hair down, get with a group of people you don't know, and fit right in and have some fun. So this was definitely very refreshing. And I understand the impact that this would have on people. I think it's necessary for so many more people in the world. So thank you for all that you guys do, for sure.
Demetrius, thank you for the courage and vulnerability of sharing your fun fact and the love that explodes through the space that you have with your beautiful wife, Bella.
And speaking of that beautiful wife, Dahani, how was your experience on the Heart of Influence?
I agree with Harvey. He mentioned of people we don't know. I just want to just kind of highlight that it's on my bucket list. I can check it off to have shared a screen with the amazing Allison Armstrong. I'm one of your biggest fans. I have all of it, from audio to books to name it. So it was just an honor to be here. We appreciate gathering this group of people that we can all benefit from and check off the bucket list as well. So thank you, Sean. You always get it right, sir. You always get it right.
We got a lot of work to do, but we're getting started. So thank you, Dahani. Please, Bella Verita.
Mr. Timothy, rolling with his kids for summer on the streets today. Timothy, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
It was great. It's always good to get additional perspectives. And I was really happy that I had a phone signal because I'm driving. So today was great. Thank you.
And what are you driving, Timothy?
I'm in an R8, Audi R8.
Beautiful.
Yes. And thank you for being here, Timothy. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Bella Verita, I think that brings us to the one and only.
We got one more. Last but not least, we have Sandy. I don't think we have from Sandy.
That was the one and only Sandy. Yes.
The one and only Sandy, and I do want you to know, Sandy, that I do let Sean speak every now and again. So he does get to speak when we go out to dinner and stuff. But how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Well, I'm sorry that I was a disruptor and put you in the box underneath the desk, but I really enjoyed the time here. And again, I want to echo what Dayani said, that I loved being in the space with Allison Armstrong. It's been a dream of mine to have her on my podcast, which I would love to do. And to meet you, I am just so influenced and inspired by your work and all of you here. It was really wonderful to meet you, and thank you for the feedback.
Sandy, thank you for the courage and vulnerability, coming forward. Beautiful, beautiful work. Miss Allison Armstrong, gratitude for your presence. And how was your experience today on the Heart of Influence? Please. What would you want us to know about that?
Oh boy, we get to be real here, huh? That's what makes it so fun.
Yes.
Let's see. So it was a little nerve-wracking, just because of my orientation and avoidance of fame or anything that spells like that, and hearing my mother's voice in my head, you can be a star. You can be a star. And I don't want to be a star. I don't want to be a star. And so it felt a little hot seat. But I did some release work this morning and thought, wait a second. Stars are lights in the sky. Okay, I'll just be a light. I can be a light. Just be a light. But I mean, you know how squiggly I get about this. And it's such a pleasure to meet people who think it's a pleasure to meet me. I'm a pretty much normal human being obsessed with why do human beings do what they do. Sandy, I'll tell you how to get me on your podcast. That's an easy yes. Would be happy to do that. And just thank all of you. You don't get invited here if you're not making the world a better place. And so for me, if that's what you're doing, you're part of what I'm doing. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh, Allison, massive gratitude to you. So we are running late, and I want to thank Andrea Catania, Belverita, for everything that you did to make this magical today. Andrea, the work it takes to put together a group of amazing humans. Just once again, the deal attorney, everything you sacrificed, everything you put into doing this, we couldn't be more grateful to you. Bella, just the fun, the magic. Can't wait to see you after your trip to Greece, and looking forward to a beautiful dinner, maybe the Capitol Grill, or maybe just watching movies. We'll see what we're going to do later tonight. I'm sure you're only moments away from being in the studio, from your return trip. And for everybody, we have 3 quick gifts. The first is the opportunity to register for the webinar on October 22nd. So there should be a link in the chat. If that link is not in the chat, then we'll just reach out and make sure that you get the link appropriately. Second is we have our
we'll
group
make sure
influence.
everybody gets the link.
Yeah. Second is the group influence book. That group influence book is there as a textbook for how you publicly speak, lead, manage, go. We need another one of those. Well, actually we do, because I look for the diagnostically, holistically complete one. Couldn't find it. So we created it. That gift is there for you also. And finally, we have a business acceleration session for everyone here on My Reputation, with all these fine folks here and recording. You want to take that session. Thousands of people have taken us up on that offer. There's never been one complaint. You'll receive tremendous value from that hour to see what you don't see about how you take your mission further in the world. Lots more to do. We couldn't be more grateful. And we end every show by saying this. I may be physically blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain as to the possibilities for acceleration within our personal life, professional life, or just our life that sit right in front of all of us. Will there be more joy, happiness, impact, a little more time, freedom, maybe some more financial abundance? So often it sits right here. But at some level, for all of us, sighted or not, we are all blind. Bella?
I'm just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Great job. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.